It's a battle over how some of the most expensive real estate in the nation will be used. Veterans advocates accuse the VA in West LA of putting private interest over the law.
Fox 11's Christy Fajardo investigates.
We're a small group of people fighting rich.
Navy veteran Michael Williams came back from the Gulf War decades ago, but feels like he's still fighting.
It's the lies that are being told to the public that really upsets me.
He showed us this tiny home on the Veterans Affairs Administration land in Brentwood.
We're living in sheds.
Shelter he only got after the homeless encampment outside the VA's gates incensed neighbors and city leaders.
This is supposed to be my home, but look at how I'm treated.
Especially outrageous, he says, because this land was deeded to the federal government more than a century ago, with the promise it would be used to house disabled veterans like him.
All this land that they sold, all this money that they generate, there's only one washing machine on this entire campus for all veterans to use.
Well, he's been waiting for the VA to build permanent housing on the sprawling 388-acre campus. Veterans groups say the VA has been changing these signs from Soldiers Home to Veterans Park. They say it's all part of the VA's ongoing efforts to illegally lease out the land to private interests. And they say they have a recording to back up their claim.
Our advocates who are a little testy out there are going to get up in arms when they see that there's another ball field being built.
That's a now former West LA official last year talking about granting UCLA a new lease for a second ball field.
It was really disheartening to see and hear.
Iraq War veteran Rob Reynolds of AMVET says what's on the recording is outrageous. In 2013, a federal judge voided a whole list of leases, including UCLA's, as illegal. Then in 2016, Congress passed legislation giving the VA authority to lease West LA lands, including to the university. But there are catches. Among them, the lease must benefit veterans. Reynolds believes the recording shows the official knew the ball field didn't meet requirements, and when the media got wind of it,
this will get out ahead of us if we don't get moving on it quickly.
Was looking for ways to spin it.
This will likely get out faster than they want. They have a veteran story, not a veteran story, but a player story with some heritage that they want to wrap the unveiling around.
That official has apologized for not being more transparent, and UCLA insists the lease is legal, pointing out it offers perks and services for veterans. But there's also still an oil lease on the land, and this. The Tony Brentwood School leases more than 20 acres to house its athletic facilities. The school now allows veterans to use those facilities, but the VA's own Inspector General has also called the private school's lease illegal.
The law's supposed to be on our side, and nothing has changed.
Vietnam veteran Alfred Arian is part of a coalition of veterans groups who are calling on the VA to honor its commitment, pointing out that in the past, the campus was, as the signs read, a home for soldiers.
Prior to Los Angeles becoming our nation's capital to veteran homelessness, nearly 5,000 veterans lived on this property. And today, there's only a couple hundred and an estimated 4,000 homeless veterans. So if you do the math here...
No one from the VA would go on camera, but in a written statement insisted the contracts comply with the 2016 congressional law, saying in part, quote, current leases at the West Los Angeles VA campus do not impact housing construction and renovation in any way. VA believes all the leases currently in place are legal. The VA adds the same is true for its new master plan for the campus. Under that just unveiled master plan for the land, the VA says it will have 1,200 housing units and other amenities in 5 to 10 years, including a town square and mental health and career services. But it also calls for bike lanes and walking trails. And the regional Vietnam Veterans of America chapter calls it a community plan that would convert the land to public parks and retail and would still leave veterans out on the street.
They're talking about building housing over the next 10 years. We're already 6 years late on the housing, and now they're saying it's going to take another 10 years to build. And that is absolutely unacceptable when you have the VA prioritizing things like building an athletic complex for a school, building baseball stadiums.
Reynolds says the VA didn't get enough input from vets and that the master plan serves private interests and ignores that it's supposed to benefit veterans.
It always seems that when it comes to building housing on this property, there's always excuses or delays. And in a lot of our opinion, what will happen is in a couple years, they'll build a couple more units of housing, and then they'll come out with some new study and be like, well, come to find out, we don't actually need the rest of the housing, and it'll never get built.
Now advocates are gearing up for another fight in what they say is a battle that never ends. And the collateral damage are people like Williams, who they say took an oath to defend their country and now wonder who's defending them.
I'm not going to stop fighting for our veteran and this land that our veterans deserve back. These rich people need to go and get their own land.
Christy Fajardo reporting there. This is a story we've been covering for years and years.
And part of the challenge is whenever it has to do with the VA, there is so much bureaucracy and so much red tape that can be impossible for some people to cut through. That may be the case here once again tonight.